Genji's buff has now been a live server for a couple of days. I've been playing it non-stop. I'm very excited to talk about it and talk a little bit about how you guys can use the new buffs, both on his right click, how this affects your playstyle, and also the way that his Deflect now can be used to win far more duels. Hopefully these guys will help you rank up, improve, and get better at the game much faster. So let's really just talk about it. I'm beautiful lovely gamers, my name is Jonal. I'm very sorry that I haven't uploaded for almost 2 weeks. I've been moving, I just finished my bachelor's degree, as I'm finally done with all of that. I finally settled into my new place. It's amazing, it's really great. So, very sorry for the huge delay. Videos should be starting to come up online as normal. Of course, a like on the video helps against YouTube's algorithm. I can't assume that they will not punish me for being not uploading for this long period of time. The same goes a comment in the comment section also helps against that, and of course subscribe to the channel if you like this kind of content. If you want to rank up, improve, and get better at the game, and you want to hire me as your private coach, it's 50 euros for a 2-hour session. Hit me up on a Discord server, link down in the description. Now, with no further ado, let's really just talk about it. The new Genji buff is just wow. He feels just so much cleaner, so much faster, just so much, I don't know, like it makes the old Genji, especially when you're playing up close, just feeling like sloppy or clunky or just inconsistent for some reason. He feels so much just tighter, just faster, just, oh, he's just so much fucking better right now. And it just makes him such a better hero to play around with. I've been grinding him, you can use him for a lot of free SR. However, there's a couple of things that I want to talk about. Number one, the changes to his close-up abilities and his right click. And if you're not new to the buff and you're confused about what I'm talking about, down in the description I covered the buffs. I covered the damage numbers that will be happening, why changing from 28 all the way up to 30, which I predicted a long time ago, why that affects Genji's playstyle. And I also talk and show the difference between the spread of his right click now compared to what it was previously. So link down in the description for that video if you're interested. But these changes doesn't really affect Genji's playstyle. The effects of his right click, where it's much tighter and it deals, again, more damage because all other shurikens also deal damage. So it's really just the fact that his right clicks are tighter, meaning you can hit more shurikens consistently, you can hit more consistent headshots, doing that you can burst stuff faster. That's the only thing that really happened to Genji. And therefore, what you need to understand, you're not changing your playstyle, and nobody is. It just does that when you see an opportunity, if you see like an Ana that's alone, or McCree, Senjata, or when you see a tank that's out of position, you can punish far more consistently in close range. So if you can get up close or you want to dash the target, you can punish them far more consistently. That's what you can do. You can't really get anything else out of it. You don't change your playstyle, you will still be poking around, you'll still be building up a Dragon Blade, you'll still be playing within 50 meters of your target and off-angling from high grounds. You will still be playing the exact same playstyle that we covered before. And if you're interested in more in detail about Genji playstyle, I made a very, very popular, I think it's my most viewed video called a Grandmaster's Basic Guide to Genji. I'll again link that down in the description as well. You can check that out if you're interested. But you're not changing your playstyle, but you are playing far more aggressively. You can look at some kills, but I've seen when I've been private coaching people as of late, even people like 3.8k, that they are like suicide dashing into targets and being super aggro because they for some reason now think that, oh, I have to get this right click, therefore I always need to go in and use his right click. It is just a convenience, it's just a consistency. You're not changing your playstyle, but you are, and you can, if you're mechanically comfortable with it, push and be more aggressive, take more opportunities. That's the great thing that is happening. And if you are getting pushed or you're getting forced into a duel, you are just a little bit more stronger, a little bit more consistent, so those duels can be won easier, which is really great for somebody like Genji that likes to play on high grounds and sometimes does get challenged up there. The damage on the shuriken, again, hasn't really done much. It is a quality of life. It is rounding out some damage, doing that you a lot of time end up with actually getting a kill that you normally wouldn't get, or you get them just like one burst faster. And again, it's a small thing, but it's really big for Genji, who relies on dash resets. So that is just something that you feel across the board, which is just nice. His deflect changes is something that people need to get used to. I see a lot of people, I coached a couple of people that wasn't like gold to plat range, that is preemptively canceling them, What you need to remember when you're playing in lower elos is that people have really bad reaction time and no trigger discipline. So actually canceling deflect in lower elos isn't something that you always want to do. Just because the fact that they will continuously just shoot at the deflect in those elos, they don't have trigger discipline to stop a lot of the time. So then you don't want to cancel. And a really good way of just remembering, should I cancel my deflect or not, is remember why we are deflecting. We're using deflect to block an ability of value. Normally stuff like a sleep dart or a flashbang, a roadhog hook, right? Of course, if you have 2 health, then everything counts as value, right? But in general, it's stuff like that we're looking for. We're looking for these high value abilities, right? You're not pushing a soldier and popping deflect. Deflect is not a damage ability. You're not deflecting soldier bullets back at the soldier, because at that rate, it would be much more efficient of you just right-clicking him. You would be dealing more damage, and he normally just cancel some of his shots, and it's not that good. If you can deflect the helix, great. But deflecting bullets, it normally just slows you down as it is. You don't want to cancel your deflect if they're still going to keep pressure on you, if you're just using it as like a damage mitigation tool. Where you want to do it is, for example, the under sleep dodge, you deflect the sleep dodge, now you can cancel it to deal more damage. On top of that, especially in high elos, they a lot of time wait out your deflect. Especially stuff like Hansels, you will see they will preemptively charge their bow and just wait for the deflect to run out. And what you then do logically is that you cancel it preemptively, or at least when you think that you can have some form of angle. I always recommend to still use wall climbs. Don't just be basic and always flat, like just cancel it with recasting the ability, because it's very predictable, you're very easily to hit. If you do a small wall climb, it's not just the fact that you're canceling the deflect, but you're also doing a wall climb, which makes it a little bit more difficult to hit, especially around that diamond to low master range where their aim isn't perfected yet. It's a little bit more inconsistent, it's a little bit more flashy and unpredictable, and therefore it's actually really good to still use those. So don't unlearn your wall climbs, and if you're practicing them, still practice doing wall climb cancels. Canceling your deflect by recasting the ability is just really good, because one, it does, you can keep up damage after you block something. For example, you block a roadhog hook, there's no more scary thing from the roadhog, just cancel and then keep spamming him for Dragon Blade. You're blading Diana, and Diana casts Sleep Dart. You deflect all the way up to her, and then you can just cancel the deflect, and you're normally really good. And it's just a quality of life that you can, if there's nothing more to block, for example, there's no more flashbang, there's no more sleep, there's no more hook, or you used it and they didn't burn their ability, no need for you to hold the deflect up any longer. Cancel it, because they won't know when you're going to cancel it. That way you have the chance to trade aggressively, and they will have to react, right? If you wait it out, they will know, okay, it lasts for 2 seconds. I'll just count 1, 2, it's out now, and then he can preemptively cast his ability to stun you, sleep you, hook you, whatever. If you cancel that after 0.7 seconds, because you understand, okay, he's not going to use his ability anymore, it's unpredictable. He doesn't know that, he's not prepared. Now his reaction time has to come into counting a factor. He can't just preemptively start throwing the ability at you, which actually does give you the upper hand, especially if you're doing stuff like Nanoblade. If the Ana or the Kree is waiting out your deflect, you can normally, especially if you already hit them with the dash, you can normally just cancel and cut, and they will normally not be able to stop you unless they somehow sick or prepared to counter you. And if that is the case, if you're scared because they're really good and they're really good reaction time, again, wall climb. Use wall climb to get that elevation, especially against Ana players if they're close to a wall, because it makes a difference. It makes you a little bit more harder to hit, but just doing a small wall climb to the side. If you don't want to, you can always preemptively cancel, but normally I would like to tell you, just do a wall climb if it's still an opportunity, if you're scared of getting hit by an ability as soon as the deflect goes down, because you fucked up and preemptively cast it, and they are just waiting you out. Again, the important thing is, don't change your Genji playstyle. Play them as we normally play them as effectively as we normally will. The game plan hasn't changed. Still use wall climbs because it's still effective. Watch out, we still want to use deflect the normal way. Just because we can cancel it actually does that. A good Genji player that knows when to cancel will have an upper hand against bad Genji player that cancels them all the time or never cancels them, because you lose out on damage potential. So use it as needed. Use them either to preemptively surprise somebody, or use them to get that extra damage in if needed, or just hold it all the way if that is something that you need to do. You don't need to cancel it just to cancel it. And the last thing I want to say is that a lot of people are one-trick Genji right now. A lot of people are having fun with it. If you're having fun, great. If we're talking about ranked, Genji is still not usable in every single situation. And especially also on the competitive ladder, he's still not that useful in all those situations where some other heroes will have to come in. So if you want to rank up and you want to really, really do that easily, understand when you're getting countered. Double shield with Torbjorn and all that fucking bullshit that's in your way, and it's impossible for you to engage, and it's possible for you to get close. Maybe swap to Hanzo, maybe swap to Pharah or Junkrat or whatever you want to play, or Soldier or Nash, right? Swap around as needed. Genji is still not a insane S tier, should always be picked kind of thing. There are situations, he's normally actually useful against most team comps, especially the lower elo you go, the more you can dominate. But there are certain team composition or certain teams that play certain play styles, or when you have certain teams that just, you know, doesn't want to engage for you if that is needed against a specific team comps, right? There are times where you then want to swap off and go over to a Hanzo or go over to somebody else. So don't hold him for a one trick if you want to rank up. Again, have fun. If you want a one trick, one trick. I one trick on some of my accounts. I just play Genji because it's super fun. I'm having a blast. But I would recommend you guys to not be in this hard state mindset that Genji got a buff, I'm not going to play him without exception. I know a lot of you guys play Genji, also really good Hanzo players or really good Pharah players, or really good, even some of you are really, really good Ashe players. I know that some of you guys know how to play other stuff and actually have those as like secondary or third mains, and use those. Use your entire slot. Great that we can now start fitting in Genji in far more situations. He's really good for brute forcing a lot of wins, and just because of Dragon Blade and just how lethal he is now at punishing people, he's so good for climbing out of lower elos. But there are still situations where stat blocks are just a thing. Where Torbjorn turret that won't get destroyed by a teammate will be zoning you, where there's just so many shields that you can never get in proper hits, and it just becomes a nightmare to engage absolutely anything because they're playing like Baptiste and Break at the same time. It's just, at that point, you gotta just ask yourself, is this worth it? Or can I do this so much easier? Especially like, can I do a first point so much easier by swapping to Hanzo and then swap back to Genji at like third or second point if I need to. That's all for today's video. Again, please do like, comment, and subscribe. Tell me in the comment section, write weeb if you made it to the end of the video. That way I can hear your comment and I know where you guys are kind of making it, if you like this type of content. Besides that, guys, as always, peace to the casters, they're positive. I love you guys very, very much. And as always, my name is Jonal, and you guys keep the enemy in your crosshair.